Hello everyone, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Ridwan Ibrahim and I welcome you to the third episode of the Gable roof calculation. In the last episode, we treated the calculation of wall plates. So we determined the length of the wall plates and we determined how the number of the wall plates can be calculated. So in today's episode, we will move further to calculation of the tie beam. All right. So we'll be using another page in order to have it look very clean. Tie beam is that element that sits directly on the wall plate. Okay, you know, when you have a wall plate like this, you have another wall plate like this. Okay, the wall plates need to be connected by a member, and that is what this tie beam is doing. Okay, so that is that wall tie beam here. So you see the tie beam, this horizontal element that sits directly. You can see all these ones. Yeah, those are the tie beams. Okay, so in the episode 1, there is a particular video I attached to the description of the video, so that we explain to you each member, what each member does and how they are connected and the arrangement. So you will learn all those properly from that video, but this particular is just to teach you how to calculate that. All right, so let's just dive into it without wasting much of our time. We want to calculate the tie beam. Now the length of the tie beam, just as we did for the wall plates, we determined the length of the building. Okay, so you can see that the tie beam is running across the width of the building. So we can say that the length of one tie beam is actually the length of the building. Okay, there is a particular dimension that we've given to the building. Okay, so we will keep using this dimension. All right, that's why I did not clear this. So the length of the building was given to be 12 meter and the width is given to be 5 meter. So that means the length of one tie beam is actually 5 meter. Okay, we can say that the length of tie beam, let me just say of TB, equals to 5 meter. Don't mind my handwriting. That's the length of one tie beam. So in order to know the total length, okay, of all the tie beam, that's supposed to be the number of all the tie beams multiplied by length of one tie beam, which is 5 meter. Okay, so what we need to determine right now is how many numbers of tie beams do we have here. So we need to determine the number of tie beams. Okay, so in order to determine that will be very easy. We just need to know what is the spacing between each tie beams, okay, which is basically the spacing of the truss. Okay, the spacing of the truss would have been given by the architect, so all you just need to do is, you know, assign it. Okay, so the basic parameter we need now is the spacing. Okay, so let's assume that the spacing is given to be 0.75 meter, which is equivalent to 750 meter. Okay, so that is the spacing between each truss, which is the same thing as the spacing of the tie beam. All right, now we want to know how many numbers of tie beam we have. All right, so now in order to determine the number of tie beam, the formula is basically the length of the building, which can also be referred to as the length of the wall plate, okay, divided by spacing of the truss, and then you add 1. Okay, so what is the length of the building? The length of the building still remains 12 meter, divided by what is the spacing of the truss. The spacing is 0.75 meter, and then you add 1 to it. That will be equivalent to 17 numbers. Okay, so now that you know the number of all the tie beams in the roof, and you also know the length of each tie beam in the roof, then you can know the total length of the tie beam in the roof. Okay, so 17 numbers, right? So if you come back here, if you come back to this formula, you know the length of one tie beam is 5 meter. Okay, so total length of all the tie beam will be equivalent to number times 5, right? So that will be 17 times 5, and that will be equivalent to 85 meter. Okay, so 85 meter is the total length of all the tie beam in this structure. Just as I said, you don't need the actual length. What you need is the number. Okay, and then the actual length, the approximate length of each timber in the sawmill is about 3.6 meter. Yours could be lesser, yours could be around 3.3, it could be higher, it could be lesser, but the approximate is 3.6. okay, so we have to divide this 85 by 3.6 in order to get the actual number of timber that we purchased in the sawmill. Okay, so 85 divided by 3.6, that should be equivalent to 24 numbers. Okay, so you can write it that you need 24 number of 3, or no, let's say 3 by 6. Okay, 3 by 6 inches hardwood. Okay, hardwood, that is what you need for your tie beam. So this is how you calculate the number of tie beam or the length of tie beam in a gable roof. All right, so this will be the end of episode 3. In episode 4, we will move forward to calculate the total length and the total number of king post. All right, so watch out for the next episode, and thank you for watching.